And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to draw curtains on this remarkable inaugural edition, it's time to hear from someone who has been instrumental in making the inaugural edition of the GreenReturns Summit a reality. A visionary leader and the driving force behind IVCA's effort to drive sustainability. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as I welcome onto the stage to deliver the closing remarks, the chair of IVCA, Shri Jayant Sinha.
Thank you very much for that very kind introduction. And I know that I stand between you and the bar and other fun entertainments for the evening. So I will only take just a very few short moments to do a couple of housekeeping things. But first, before I get into any of the housekeeping things, I want to thank the Indian Venture Capital Association for putting up a fantastic conference. So to Akriti, Rajat and their entire team, a very, 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 very enthusiastic round of applause for them. Very enthusiastic round of applause. Thank you so much for working so hard for these last 4 or 5 months to put together such a grand event. Now, as we thank IVCA and Team ICA for their wonderful job, I want to also thank a whole host of other people that have contributed for making this conference so successful. First, I really want to thank Nitin ji for coming at very short notice. He was happy to come here, of course, but it required all our powers of persuasion to get him onto the stage and to have him give his insights and his perspectives on e-mobility and transportation. So a very, very big thank you to Nitin Gadkari ji for gracing the occasion and being here today. I also want to thank all our sponsors. The list is here. We obviously spent a lot of time trying to convince them and persuade them to be able to sponsor this, but they were very generous with their money, with their time, and as a result of that, we were able to put up, I think, a very good show and lots of good food, and all of it because of our sponsors. So a round of applause for our sponsors. Thank you all also for being such a terrific audience and still being around, even though I know it's getting late. So I think our delegates deserve all of the support and all of the thank yous that we can provide them. I also want to thank you, some of the members of the government who were here. And they provided a wonderful perspective. We were very fortunate to have the Chief Economic Advisor, Dr. Anand Nageshwaran. We had the G20 Sherpa, Shri Amitabh Kant ji. We had Shri N.K. Singh Saab, who is an absolute titan of finance, of development, who gave us his perspectives today. We had the IMF, we had the World Bank participation as well. So we got a very good turnout, an extraordinary turnout from policymakers, and I really, really want to thank them for that. And last, but not least, I want to thank all the startups who participated so enthusiastically, who set up their stalls, who were here as part of the pop-up village, and who gave us a sense of how much innovation and how much excitement is happening right now in the green investment area, in the green segments that we have been tracking. So a big thank you for all of the startups who were here. Of course, thank you also to all the investors who've been here. Without them, obviously, we would not be able to pull off any of this. So those are all of the thank yous that I think are very due. If I have left off something, it's entirely my fault, so please excuse me. But I think we have been able to put together a spectacular inaugural conference. And I'm very pleased because this conference has been so successful. And I'm very pleased to tell you that our 2 chairs of the Climate and Sustainability Council, Pratibha Jain, I don't know if Pratibha is still here, and Akhilesh, I can see Akhilesh right here, who have been a super support for this conference, who've led from the front and who've done such a spectacular job. Both of them have signed up for doing the next version of this conference on October 9th and 10th. So thank you, Akhilesh. Thank you, Pratibha, for being willing to lead and sponsor the second conference that we're going to do October 9th and 10th. We will decide on the city. Akhilesh has suggested Mumbai. We could do Mumbai. We could do Gift City in Ahmedabad. We could do Delhi again. but I will leave that up to you all to decide what you think is the right venue for the second such conference, because I think this is a very good chance for all of us to get together and spend time together. And I will come to the end of this conference with a call to action. Let me come to the end by asking you all to do a few things. And that's my request to you all. Number one, I think it's very important. We've spent a lot of time talking about financial capital and human capital, but I think the number one priority for us as an ecosystem, as a community, is actually to build social capital. The older I get, the more convinced I am that if we have the right relationships, the right networks, the right people to approach, we can get remarkable things done. Remarkable things done. So my first request to all of you from a call to action perspective is build your social capital. If you work together, you collaborate, you share perspectives, and most importantly, you help each other, we can get the job done. So build social capital, even as we pursue financial capital and want the best people on our team. Let's not ignore the fact that it's social capital, it's groups that come together that can do miraculous things. So please, please, please build social capital, build your relationships and your networks. Second thing I will say very quickly is the government is there to help. We can get all kinds of important policies done. We can make big changes happen, but we have to collaborate and we have to present an industry perspective. You heard Nitin ji, you heard Anand Nageshwaran, you heard Amitabh Kant ji. Everybody is there to support and help the industry and the ecosystem. But we have to provide them with very focused, clear, specific requests, recommendations as to what needs to be done and who has to do it. And that has to come from an industry. It cannot come just from one startup or from one investor. So let's build the industry associations, let's provide the white papers, let's provide the recommendations, and we can get a lot done through the government. So policy action, we should not be shy about policy action. We should not be shy about asking the government. Much can be done, particularly those things that are just a stroke of the pen. I think we can get all of those things done. And finally, I'll conclude this evening by once again emphasizing what I said yesterday. This conference is called the Green Returns Conference. It's not called the Green Policy Conference. It's called the Green Returns Conference. And the reason is that we have to generate returns, we have to return money back to investors, and once we unlock that cycle of returns and getting more capital, we can actually start to really, really scale up and get to that $1 trillion goal. But we will not get to that $1 trillion goal. We won't bend the curve when it comes to net zero. We won't change India's destiny unless and until we generate returns, friends. So with that, I will finish my remarks. We will finish the conference. Once again, with deep gratitude for all of you for being here. Let's go out and make some money. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Shri Jayant Sinha. What a fitting way to wrap up this summit, ladies and gentlemen. A summit that has truly sparked conversations, ideas, and of course, collaborations. And as Shri Sinha said, we really hope this is just the beginning of something truly transformative. We hope to see you at the next one next year. Till then, stay inspired, stay committed, and as we would like to say, stay green. See you all. Thank you.